Oh, you didn't know? But your ass better call somebody. It's the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry, the professor of old school wrestling, Eddie Prather. We're the Atomic Drop Podcast. And if you're not down with that, I got two words for you. Suck it. There we go.
Yeah,
There you go. What's up, everybody? Saturday night, feeling all right. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing good. Football season's over now, so
Yeah, football season is over. Super Bowl, not a bad Super Bowl. We've seen better. We've seen much worse, especially recently. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. What do you think about the Super Bowl?
what's up, Adam Glenn? It was a pretty good Super Bowl.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. What's up, Adam? What's up, Eileen?
Eileen,
Our favorite tag team, Eileen and Adam Glenn, the tag team champs, right there, undisputed.
is if Eileen's Jets was able to beat Adam's Eagles this year in football.
Yeah, one of the few losses the Eagles had in the regular season there. For the longest time, it was their only loss was against the Jets, and nobody could understand how the hell that happened. But
Then we found out what happened.
yeah, the Eagles got exposed there at the end of the season, and the Jets were actually the ones that find out a little bit earlier in the season how to beat them, and nobody could believe it, so they didn't follow the Jets um, blueprints. All right, so let's kick this off. We're going to talk a little Elimination Chamber. Well, not a little. We're going to talk all Elimination Chamber. We're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber matches. And of course, the men's match, the women's match. We'll talk the women's Universal title match between Rhea and Nia Jax. We'll talk the undisputed tag team championship match between Judgment Day, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. What are they calling themselves? Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I seen it, but I forgot to write it down.
I know. I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, it wasn't something like
Something the bruiserweights or something
yeah,
like.
the bruiserweight. Well, no, I think that's what they call Tyler. Pete Dunne calls himself the bruiserweight. It's like the British brutes or something, or the British something like that.
I thought the word bruiser was part of the name, but
It could be. It could be. I thought that's what Pete Dunne was calling himself.
yeah.
And then we're also going to talk the Bloodline promo. We'll talk the Bloodline promo, the women's Elimination Chamber match. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. And then we'll hit on Jey Uso and Gunther for Monday night. So we have Zoe. Zoe saying, Eddie Mack. What's up, Eddie Mack?
That's my friend Bull, who always trolls the heck out of me.
Did you say Bull?
Bull. Bull, who is always full of bull.
Adam says DNY. That's
Tommaso and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. I like DIY. I like DIY. I really do. I wish DIY got a little bit more of a push.
I didn't think Bates or Dunn and Bates was going to beat DIY for that number one contendership.
And I'll tell you what, man. It was a hell of a match. A lot of terrific spots. I thought it was DIYs. I'm like, all right, we'll have DIYs, see if they get a push here for the undisputed tag team championship. But Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they pull it out of their rear ends, right? I mean, it was surprising. It was impressive, and it has me kind of leaning towards picking them to win in that in the chamber.
I'm just not sure. I think there's a little more meat on the bone for Damian and Finn to keep the tag belts for a little bit longer, up to maybe Mania.
Yeah, maybe.
I can see them losing the tag team belts, but then later on, Damian Priest cashing in on with his Money in the Bank.
And I think they'll lose the tag belts before they do that. Before they do that, I do see them dropping the tag team championships and then Priest after that cashing in. That's why I wonder between WrestleMania and now, all you have is Elimination Chamber and like 3 Raws, maybe 3 Raws, like 3 SmackDowns, something like that. So there's not a whole lot in between there. So somewhere in between there, they're going to have to drop those tag titles, I believe, anyway. And I could see that being at Elimination Chamber. Zoe says, "My name is Bo. My daughter hacked my account." There we go. Jacob says, "Eddie, thank you for checking the show out, Jacob." You got a hell of a following here, Ed. John Svella. I think I said that right.
Sevilla.
Okay, Savella. I didn't say it right. It says Edward. Jacob. Good to see you, Edward. Eileen. New Catch Republic is the what the hell is that? New Catch Republic is the new team name. That's interesting. That's an interesting name. Eileen said she Googled it.
Huh?
And so I think Jacob Part saying you're a Bills fan.
No. Jake is the Bills fan.
Oh, because I had the little arrow, and I was wondering if it was trying to point to you. All right. Zoe says Jacoby, Svella, and Starcy. Man, there you go. Oh, there's more yet here. Holy cow. Eileen says, Jakey, my darling, boo too, man. This is a party. Was Sevy too? Holy cow. I added the holy cow. We got French fries there? I think that's French fries. That's me, the fry daddy, the bat fry.
Sevilla,
go ahead.
yes, he was.
Okay. So that's an interesting question. You say he was overrated as wrestler. Are you talking about an in-ring performer or is the whole package?
In-ring performer.
In the ring, I can agree. There wasn't a whole lot of, I don't want to say athleticism. He was athletic for a guy his size, but there wasn't a whole lot of moves to speak of. I mean, you got some power moves, and that was it. But it's not like he was out there dropping drop kicks or top toe holds. That's what I'm trying to say, and stuff like that. You got the big moves when it counted. You know what I mean? You got the big like everybody like spine busters and power bombs and stuff like that. So in ring, kind of overrated. I think promo wise, I didn't think he was that bad as a promo guy.
He was okay with the not great, but not bad.
No, and I think if he looked more like Daniel Bryan than he did what he looked than what Batista, jacked up and big, I don't think he would have had any kind of push anytime. I think he just would have been, a scrub or whatever, a jobber or whatever.
Yeah.
Poor Kenny, I go through all those Horu hellos. Adam Glenn, Sean is not on. You got to tell him, boy. You got to say, hey, Sean, where you at, fat ass? Zoe says Legion of Doom Road Warriors are the greatest tag team ever.
Wrong.
Who is then, Eddie?
The Midnight Express.
The Midnight Express.
I have the two versions. One and Lane and Eden number one. Then number two would be Eden and Condre.
I know the Midnight Express they had a couple good runs. So I mean, I think are they still wrestling for some reason, or am I thinking of the Rock and Roll Express?
The Rock and Roll Express.
Okay. Tag team wise, I don't know who I would say the greatest tag team. I mean, like there's so many different ones. Like the Usos had a hell of a run. New Day had a hell of a run. I was always a big fan of the Brothers of Destruction because I was a big Undertaker fan, and I loved Kane. So
yeah,
don't forget Demolition too. Growing up,
don't forget I have a number of years on you. So
you do well. How old are you, Eddie?
50.
Yeah, you have a couple of years on me. Not too many. About 6 years. Zoe says Dean Malenko was a ring savvy technician. Eddie Mack, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff was also. If you're going to talk about in-ring stuff, I think Dean Malenko might be miles ahead of Paul Orndorff. What do you think, Eddie?
Different. Well, Mr. Wonderful with more of a power guy than, and Dean
Yeah.
was a smaller guy. But promo wise, Mr. Wonderful by a million miles over Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko definitely was not a talker. He was the man of 1,000 holds, but no, 0 words. The man couldn't talk. Either couldn't or didn't want to. I don't know. As always says, Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton. Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen were badass. Hey, Paul Spencer, what's up? The boss is checking
What's up,
in.
Paul?
He's watching UFC 289. He's 7 for 7 so far on his bets. Man, the dude just steps in shit and walks all over the place with it. Unbelievable. Zoe says, Paulie. All right. So looking at so Judgment Day versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I'm saying I could see it happening. It'd be surprising because they're like we talking off air before, kind of a newer tag team, but not quite new. Like you said, they've been together a couple different times, but like being rehashed, retread. I would have thought DIY would have been the team to unseat Judgment Day, but it'd be a nice underdog type story to have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate take it from the Judgment Day, set up some sort of scenario with R-Truth maybe, interfering and, continue the Judgment Day versus R-Truth, thing going on there, storyline. Go ahead.
That's a very strong possibility because R-Truth owes Damian Priest payback.
He does. He does. That they stomped him pretty good. So, and him thinking it was an initiation and then getting stomped again. And Shelton Benjamin is one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen. That's hard to argue there. The dude was crazy athletic and could do almost anything.
In ring, great. The thing that held him back was the promos again.
Yep. And it's funny, like Kurt Angle, you could compare him to Shelton Benjamin. Like super athletic, crazy athletic, came from the same background, but the dude could talk on the mic too. So you get that whole package there. And anybody that gets a really good, serious push or stays near the top, they have to have both. They have to have the in-ring and the promo. Or if they don't have the in-ring, like we were saying about Batista, has the look and the promo. Like I thought Batista was okay in the promo. In-ring work, not so much. Power work, yes, he had the power stuff, but he had the look that Vince liked back then.
Yep.
Zoe says, I am Bo. Paulie, Zoe, my daughter, hacked my account. Oh, I am Bo. Paulie, Zoe, my daughter, hacked my account. So moving on from the tag team match, at Judgment Day, we have the Universal Women's Title match, Rhea versus Nia. What are your thoughts on this? I know where I'm going to go with it, but your thoughts on this?
They need to make it short and a quick win for Rhea, just because I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see Nia in the ring more than 5 minutes. I don't want to see her in the ring. I'm afraid for Rhea's health. Nia has hurt so many women.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be over quick enough because they're going to have Nia Jax walk around slow, kind of plodding like a brontosaurus looking for leaves on a tree. I just slow, kind of just awkward looking and yelling at the crowd. But I think Rhea does pull it. I'm a Rhea. I like Rhea. I'm a Rhea mark. I want Rhea to win. I think Rhea is going to win to take that belt to championship to WrestleMania and defend it. I think it's going to be one of those matches where Rhea gets dominated, but still pulls out the win in the end. Nia does something stupid. Rhea is able to capitalize, and Rhea does something physically amazing. Like picking Nia up and her finisher and just ending her like that, or something like that, or like a superplex or something amazing with Rhea's size and weight. Where everybody goes, oh, something like that. So.
To me, if you want to push a bigger woman in the division, push Piper Niven. Oh, she can move for her size. She's athletic. Nia Jax is applauding. She's like Jim Cornette would. I think it was Jim Cornette. Somebody has called her Refrigerator Jax.
Yeah, that sounds like something Cornette would say. And so here's the thing with it. Like, it's not that it's like a body shaming thing or a fat shaming thing. I'm a big guy. I'm fat. I'm a slob. I look like a slob. But like Nia, just the way they're pushing her with her size, like it just draws attention to it. And she doesn't move well. She's like, there's no running the ropes with her. There is no running anywhere with her. There's nothing, athletic about her. Like, you just watch her. She's not very good on the mic either. It's
a disaster.
I mean, it's really, really hard to say. I can see that. I can see why. She's just big. That's all you have. I mean,
I'm a big fan of Piper Niven. Very athletic. She for her size. I think they should at least throw. I would give her the chance over Nia Jax. We know what Nia Jax is.
We know exactly what she is, and it's the Piper Niven. I feel like her last few times. I was right with you there for the longest time with Piper Niven. They should give her a push. She moves better. And she's roughly the same size. She's not as tall as Nia Jax is, but she's roughly the same size. But she moves well. She runs. She's a decent wrestler. Not terrible on the mic. She has that accent, kind of throws you off a little bit. But I feel like the last few times I've watched Piper Niven wrestle were not very good. Like, they were kind of, again, clumsy looking, a little bit slow. Just so I was kind of like, I don't know, because I think that division needs somebody big like that to challenge the stronger type wrestler. Your Rhea Ripley, your Bianca Belair, your eventually Jade Cargill. Women like that, or even the Pitbull. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now.
I know who you're talking about. The one that was with the Creed brothers.
Yeah, with the Creed brothers. Yeah. I can't think of what her name is right now off the top of my head. But women like that, they need that bigger, because they're the big dogs on the yard, the big strong dogs in the yard. Well, there has to be somebody bigger, and so you need somebody like a Nia Jax or a Piper Niven to kind of compete with that. Hey, you're big, but I'm bigger. But they don't bring it. They especially Nia. She doesn't bring it to the match where you're like, oh my God, a woman that size moving the way she does, and and doing the stuff that she's done, that's amazing. She's just there. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna sit on your chest. Okay, I'm gonna back into you on a corner. I'm gonna body slam you, walk around the ring, and yell at the crowd. I don't get it.
How about I would have given the push that Nia's been getting. I would have given that push to Tamina Snuka.
Even Tamina, she wasn't quite as big as Nia Jax, but she could move. She did some decent moves in the ring.
And she was a power wrestler, and she proved that when she had a few matches with Nia back in the days where she was able to handle Nia. So,
Eileen says Rhea is going to main event it. Well, it's in her backyard, so that would make sense if the Rhea match was the main event. But I don't know if they want to end on that match.
That would be horrible.
If it was like a Rhea versus Becky, or a Rhea versus like a Charlotte, or a Rhea versus any of those top women right now, you could see that. Absolutely, you could see it, because Rhea's a hell of a wrestler. Really, like one of the top, men or women, doesn't matter. And if Rhea versus Nia is the main event at Judgment, or at Elimination Chamber, that might the crowd might dig it because it's their home girl, but I don't know how much they'll even dig it. I don't know.
That to me, that would be one of the worst main events ever at a pay-per-view.
Zoe says Eddie looks like a cross between Nikita Koloff and the original Sheik. Looking good, Eddie. Your Cowboys still suck.
Boy, you're lucky I'm a gentleman.
I think it says it's crazy how they released other wrestlers but brought her back. And it has to be because of her size. They did release her after she was injuring all those wrestlers. And I don't know. I don't know why they brought her back. It has to be because of her size. They're just looking for somebody that's bigger than the big girls. Yeah, Rock's cousin. Yeah, that also. But that can't be just it. There has to be something else. It can't be. You know what I mean? That can't just be it. I think it says it was Ivy Nile with the Creed brothers. That's right. Zoe says we need Tigga here. I don't know. Tigga's one of your fans, I guess. A ploy developed. Wow. All right, Sean. Hey, Sean. Thanks for checking the show out. Thank you for commenting. Yeah, I'm glad the Kings won. Also, I was talking about that my last show at 4:30 that you decided not to check out. Thank you, Sean Lazarchik. It's a ploy. That's not it. Hi, Kenny. Hello, Sean. All right. So we'll move on from Rhea and Nia Jax. We'll talk about the women's chamber match, which we're still looking for another contestant yet. So far we have Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, which was it was a surprise but not a surprise, and Naomi. And then Monday they're going to have a women's battle royal to see who the final contestant is. So what are your thoughts on the women's chamber match so far?
I think it's going to be a decent elimination chambers. I'm not sure if Tiffany Stratton belongs there yet.
I agree. I don't know because she's just up from NXT, right?
Yep.
And so I'm not 100% sure if she belongs there quite yet either. Watching her match on I think it was SmackDown. It wasn't a bad match. You know, she looked decent. Another one of those girls that's kind of like mid-sized, but like decently strong. But I think she's kind of out of her league with the likes of Becky, Bianca, Naomi, and even to a lesser extent Liv, who's just coming back also from an injury and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. You're looking at this, so you already know that Bayley's challenging Io Sky. So now, assuming Rhea Ripley defends her title and is going to WrestleMania as champion, it only makes sense that it's going to be Becky versus Rhea since they've been building it up. They did it at the presser. They did it as recent as Monday night. Becky came out and I think Becky came out or she was already out there and attacked Nia Jax when Nia was trying to squash Rhea again. So it only makes sense that it's Becky winning this. But could they throw a curveball, Eddie? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win this match? And could they throw a curveball?
I just don't see who they would, if there was going to be a curveball. I just don't see anybody that's in the chamber that you can throw a curveball with. Eileen, have seen reports that the WWE have changed their plans. They're not going to have Jade in the chamber match now. They probably realize he's not ready yet.
Well, and so I'm kind of with Eileen a little bit. I know you just said that they changed their plans with it, but they're going to have a battle royal. And I just my first thought when they said they're having a battle royal was Jade Cargill. That's how they get Jade Cargill in. But if you're saying they're changing directions, I don't know.
Who's in the match for sure?
For sure is Becky, Bianca, Liv, Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi.
Bianca's booking has cooled down the last few months, so if they had kept her hot, then she could have been a curveball. But
like the curveball that I see, not knowing who the final combatant is, for me would be Liv Morgan, because wasn't it Rhea that hurt uh, her
Yes,
partner, in storyline wise and stuff like that.
Raquel.
So yeah, so the curveball for me would be Liv Morgan. I can't I have a hard time seeing her beating these women, but you never know. You just like it's crazier things have happened. Eileen says, was Shotzi supposed to be in a match on SmackDown? I saw she got injured, and so she couldn't do a qualifying match. And they did have it advertised. I don't remember who she was supposed to wrestle, uh, but yeah. So was
It's
she
a,
the one that was it? Is she the reason why Tiffany Stratton was in, or was she always supposed to be in? Eddie, do you know?
I think uh, I think Stratton was supposed to be always be in. Maybe that's why they're having the battle royal with Shotzi getting hurt.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I seen it. I seen it advertised uh, even earlier when I was online looking at all the combatants in the chamber match, and they still had yet to qualify, and they had her picture versus I don't remember who it was. And I'm like, well, that should have been Friday, but it wasn't. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I haven't heard anything or seen anything on it. So we both do. You say Becky, I say Becky winning the women's chamber match. It's going to be a great chamber match, I think. Really some really good wrestlers there. Not knowing who the last combatant is again, but even just Becky, Bianca, and Liv. Naomi's awesome. Just those four women themselves are really good. And Tiffany Stratton bringing the unknown. It could shape up to be a hell of a match. I don't know if you're going to get any of those moments where you have like the big dominant wrestler breaking open a cage or anything like that, but you're going to get some really good, really cool spots, I think. Like Liv being as I don't want to say demonic, as crazy as she is. You could see her kind of climbing the fence, and we're putting people in holds in the cage or fence, whatever the hell you want to call it. I could see her doing some pretty neat stuff as well.
I agree.
I think it says Becky Lynch wins the chamber to face Rhea Ripley. And that's the only thing that makes sense because they've been pushing her already. The presser on Raw.
I think that's going. I think the two safest picks is the women's elimination chamber match and the match between Rhea and Nia Jax.
I agree. Shotzi got hurt and was replaced by Alba Fire. Okay. And Alba Fire wrestled Naomi, and Naomi was able to pin her for her spot.
Yeah.
So okay, that makes sense why Alba Fire was there. Because I was watching that, I didn't pick up on it, but I was watching the Alba Fire Naomi match, and I was kind of curious as to why Alba Fire was there. I'm like she's part of I thought a tag team with
Isla Dawn.
Yeah, and which I dig. I like the whole goth look. Yeah, I'm into that. And I was kind of surprised. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, well, whatever. They're just looking for Naomi to get in, so you just kind of feed her a singles competitor jobber and go with it. But it would make sense that it's supposed to be Shotzi, and I like Shotzi. I wish Shotzi would get a little bit more of a push. And this is why I preach it here, week in and week out, that the women's division needs more championships. They need an IC title or a US title or a TV title or something else to push for, to strive for. So you have those mid carders, or girls that are right on the cusp of the top level. Something to hold, something to say, hey, look at me, I got a title as the next step. As kind of like what the Intercontinental Championship used to be back, the 80s and part of the 90s, and as it is now, it's a stepping stone now. And the U.S. title, the men's U.S. title, also you can view as almost like a stepping stone towards the IC title. if it's promoted right, if it's pushed right.
Yeah, I think Gunther has the IC belt for a while did not mean much, but until Gunther has made that belt mean something again.
Absolutely, it's since Gunther's title run, which is 600 plus days. Uh, it's meant a whole lot. Now, granted, like him holding it that long isn't giving himself a push or isn't giving anybody else a push. Well, okay, it is giving him a push. It's really brought him up to superstardom. But there's been some insane matches that he's defended that title with, whether it's on like Raw or at the pay-per-views. So I mean, it really
It gave somebody like Chad Gable a push.
it raised his name from being somewhere here to somewhere up here. Guys like you said, Chad Gable, so many different guys. I'm trying to think who else wrestled him for it. McIntyre and Sheamus. That match
the triple threat match at WrestleMania last year.
What was my favorite match? I mean, I'm a huge Sheamus fan, so I thought it was fantastic. I was bummed that Sheamus didn't win it, but that was one hell of a match. The Scottish Warrior and Sheamus and Gunther. It was awesome.
They beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, they're all battered and bruised, and from all those chops and shit like that. Okay, we have Rich Yao saying Drew wins men's chamber, beats Seth at Mania, and Priest cashes in on Drew and wins. And that's something that we were talking about offline, but also something we talked about last week. It makes sense, especially with Drew's contract issues coming up. And something I did say was, if Priest doesn't cash in for some reason, whatever, it's not unheard of. CM Punk did it, where he left the company with the title and then was signed a few weeks later. So it's not unheard of. It's been done before, where you could see Drew winning a title, leaving as your champion, and then getting negotiations going, and obviously re-signing and coming back. But it only makes sense. It makes sense storyline, because all the times that Drew cost Damian Priest a chance to cash in, it's been probably 4 or 5 times where Damian Priest had a perfect opportunity to cash in, and he's there with the briefcase. Of course, like they always do it. They give it to the referee, and they point at the case, they point at the wrestler, and the referee's like, "Are you sure? Is this we're gonna do this? Okay, let me go over. Are you sure? Let me go over to the timekeeper and make sure that he understands what it's a whole to do with that. Like it doesn't like they grab the worst grab the referee that's just gonna say ring the bell. Grab that referee, not the referees that want to contemplate it and make sure that you're ready for this."
Yeah, and at least a couple of times where Drew just came in, like one time he Claymore kicked Priest out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think he came out of the crowd and did it. I could be wrong though. It's so many different times, and it'd be perfect, because Drew's thing was he was champion during COVID, where nobody was there to see him, so he'd become champion again. Everybody's there to see him. I could see Eddie. I can close my eyes and I could see it. I could see him sitting in the corner. The bell rings. He's leaning against the turnbuckle. He has that big smile on his face, like, I got you. And then all of a sudden that Judgment Day music hits and the smile goes from his face. And he looks back and you see Damian Priest walking down, with the briefcase, and the referee's hopping next to him, and, that whole thing. And then, Priest, pulling it off and winning.
Could you see Priest doing Seth Rollins though, where Seth came in mid-match of the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, and then he came in when they were both worn down, and that's how.
I remember that. I remember that. I don't know. It would be interesting. I don't know if I could see him doing it, but I might prefer that, just to get Damian Priest a little bit more of a WrestleMania type moment, especially if he's not going to wrestle in a tag team match. You want Damian Priest in some sort of match, because he is your next level star, and you have 2 nights of WrestleManias. So like, what are you going to do with him here? And I don't know. I think I kind of like to see that. I like to see it come down mid match and make it a triple threat match. while the other two guys are wore down, and I think that'd be really interesting. It'd lead more it'd lead to more of a more talking points. I think like more of a discussion than if it was just a bing bang boom. It leads to a lot more different avenues and stuff. Sean says, "Oh wow, it just cleared up. Your tech is amazing. It's the movie. Why him? I don't know what any of that means, but okay." Sean, do any wrestlers use contacts ever in play, etc.? Eddie, you're the professor. You tell me.
I'm not sure. I think that would there'd be an issue if somebody's wearing the contacts in a physical combat like that.
You would think that if they're wearing contacts, sooner or later that contact's going to fall out, and then you're going to have the referee, both wrestlers on their hands and knees crawling around the ring looking for a contact, and yeah, we don't have that. So I would lean towards the negative there, Sean. I don't think any of the wrestlers wear contacts. There's not a whole lot they need to see. It's a physical competition. It's not reading or writing or anything like that. So I don't think they're going to wear contacts. I mean, they're not really getting hand signals anywhere. As long as their depth perception's okay, they should be fine. And if their depth perception isn't okay, maybe that's not the best line of work for them. The one thing, no one wears glasses. He always thinks that nobody wears glasses. And so it's kind of funny that 3D, right? Right, Eddie? They used to wear glasses. You had Bubba,
Yeah,
Devon, and even Spike would come out in their glasses.
yeah. But take them off
They,
before the
they,
match.
they would take them off before the match. Occasionally, you'll have it where they'll do a quick spot, throw somebody through a table, but they'll leave the glasses on just because it's a quick, like in the middle of a promo type spot.
Yeah,
But when it's a match, they're off. There's nobody's wearing glasses.
yeah.
That's kind of an interesting question.
So
All right, so the men's chamber match, moving along here. Real quick, Rich says, I think all titles will change hands at Mania. I don't know. Has that ever? I don't know. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't know if all the titles have ever changed hands at Mania.
I don't think it has.
I mean, and you'd almost have to say that both the men's titles, the main titles, the Universal and the WWE championships, there's a really good chance that they change hands this year. Then you have your IC titles that change hands. Your Women Universal, the Women's WWE, do they change hands? Tag team, both tag team titles, women's and men's. If the women's get defended, if the men's get defended, IC title, US title. I don't know. I don't know if all of them will change hands. Maybe one or two are safe, but it's interesting. So I don't know if that's ever happened.
I'm trying to think back, and I just don't think there's ever been any Mania for all the belts to change hands.
The difference with these manias and past manias is past there was one show. Now that since COVID they've been doing two shows, and it leads to more opportunity for all those titles to be defended and more opportunity for all those titles to be flipped. I don't think they'll all change hands. Once we get closer to Mania and we do our WrestleMania pregame, our WrestleMania pre-show, we can look at that a little bit closer and we can make our predictions as to what titles will change hands. But I don't think I can't see all of them changing hands. I can see the major ones changing hands. I don't think Rhea's going to lose at Mania. Io Sky, I could see her losing, but I could see her winning yet. But we'll talk about it once closer. Linda Duarte checking in. What's up, Linda? Thank you for checking the show out. Thank you for commenting. She says, "Hello, boys."
If I was a betting man, I'd say out of the two women's matches that we think's going to happen at Mania, I think Bayley has a better chance of winning the belt in this than Becky beating Rhea. I think Becky's there to trying. I think they're going to keep pushing Rhea strong.
I agree. Who do you think's more popular? Like, do you think Rhea's more popular or Becky? Because I mean, when she comes out, even though she's a part of the Judgment Day, she's quote unquote a heel. When Rhea comes out, she gets a hell of a pop, and throughout the show, you hear "We want mommy" chants, mommy, stuff like that all the time. So who do you think's more over?
Rhea.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rhea is.
I think Becky lost a lot of steam when she came back, when they tried to make her a heel. I think Becky lost a little bit of steam.
Rich is thinking Becky. Yeah, I agree. Well, I think when she became big time Bex or whatever the hell it was, I feel like that's when she kind of started losing it for me. This Becky Lynch, this coordination of Becky Lynch now, I'm all right with. I kind of dig, but I don't think she like Rhea's so white hot right now, and she's over with the fans. The fans love her, even though she's part of a heel faction. They boo the hell out of Dom and they cheer the hell out of Rhea. So it's kind of amazing.
And
all the same group.
And I think they're indifferent. The fans are indifferent with Damian and Finn and JD.
Everybody's indifferent with JD, but
yeah, but Dom, everybody wants to punch Dom in the face.
that's because everybody feels like they can punch Dom in the face. He looks so regular, you know what I mean? He just looks like a punk ass 20-year-old that you could go up and slap across the mouth because there's nothing. Looking at him, it looks like there's nothing special about him. When he gets in the ring, he's very, very good in the ring, I believe, anyway. And I think when he talks, he's okay on the mic. He's not great, but I think he's good enough where it leads to his character very good. He's a kind of a dickhead on the mic, and that's what his character thinks he's a dickhead. So it leads to his character well. But in the ring, you can tell he's had a lot of training. And you can tell he's a second generation superstar, one of the great wrestlers of all time, Rey Mysterio. You can tell he's very polished. He's very good.
Don't forget about his other daddy,
Eddie Guerrero.
Come on. With Dom with the mullet and stuff, he looks like Eddie more than he looks like Rey.
You're right, and I think that's the point of it. Actually, to be 100, I think that's all. It's all there for a reason. I think if you ask Dom Mysterio what's with the mullet, I wouldn't be surprised if he said, "I got a haircut like my father, Eddie Guerrero." So, Rich says, "You think Alexa Bliss returns at Mania or maybe Elimination Chamber?" I heard she's pretty close to coming back. I don't know how true that is. She just had a kid. I don't know how long ago.
I say the Monday after Mania.
That's usually a really big Monday Night Raw. Is the night after Mania. You have people return. You have, sometimes you'll have a surprise title change for some reason. It's usually a lot of surprises. The Mania after the Monday after Mania. So, like if you don't ever get tickets for WrestleMania and you're in that town, usually the next day they're in the same area, same town, just at a different venue. Get those tickets to that Monday Night Raw. Usually there's a bunch of surprises. All right, so the men's Elimination Chamber match. So we have all the combatants. It's filled up. We have KO, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, and Logan Paul. Who do you got?
I think there's two guys you can favor in that match. You can favor Drew, and you can favor Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton, if he wins it, could be a great first feud for. You can easily see Randy turning heel pretty quickly when Cody wins the belt at Mania.
Absolutely,
they have a backstory.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I don't know. I look at it. I look at Drew and LA Knight. I think Drew makes the most sense because of the storyline that's been going on for how long? Why do the storyline if you're not going to continue to build towards it for a payoff at Mania? It's like wasted time. I feel like Drew and I feel like LA Knight just because LA Knight deserves the push. He was so hot. And they kind of if you ask me, they kind of drug their feet with them. And then when Randy returns and CM Punk is back with WWE, since then I feel like LA Knight has considerably cooled off. He still gets the pop. You still get the Yaz all the time. Right on point. Like I was just watching SmackDown earlier today, and I was watching his match versus Ivar versus Ivar, and all the Yaz were right on point. When they had to do it, the crowd was there. They did it. So they still love LA Knight, but it doesn't feel as big as it did late last year, early this year, and but I could feel them trying to reignite that flame. They're there. The gas is on, and they're trying to light the lighter. Do they light it or do they blow themselves up? I don't know. But I feel like those two guys. My number one is Drew. I could see him winning it the most. And if my curveball there is LA Knight. I could see him sneaking in if Drew does not.
I think Orton. I think the front office, Paul Levesque. I think guys in the front office. I think they want to have Orton catch Drunk Flair number of title championship wins, and like I said, that Orton would Orton would, if Cody wins the belt at Mania, Orton would make the perfect sense as his first feud as champion.
So if Orton wins the Chamber match, he has to wrestle a champion at Mania.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Yeah, and
you're right.
If you have him win like a Money in the Bank type thing, then I can kind of go with that. Unless I don't know if this is possible. I don't think it is. They can't. They have to promote. But if for some reason Cody beats Roman on night 1, which I don't think it's a night 2 match, but if this scenario would pop up, Cody beats Roman night 1, then Randy can say, "Hey, I challenged Cody," and he'd have to wrestle again night 2. But I can't see that happening. It would have to be the Raw title. It'd have to be Seth Rollins.
With that thinking, the only person we can think of is Drew winning that match then, because it wouldn't make sense for LA Knight to win it. And I think LA Knight's going to be wrestling for the IC, not the IC belt, but the United States belt against Logan Paul at Mania.
And it's a good way to set that up through Elimination Chamber because they're both in the match.
Yeah.
So I feel like LA Knight's been killer on the mic recently. I feel like he's been a little bit angry, so he's bringing that anger to his promos, and I think he's been doing a hell of a job. But yeah, so you can cross out KO. It's definitely not going to be KO. Definitely not going to be Lashley. Pretty sure definitely not going to be Logan Paul, but you never know. They love that guy. So you look at LA Knight, Drew, and Randy being possibly one of those 3 guys. Most likely Drew. Outside shot LA Knight. The furthest shot Randy Orton, I think. I mean, Randy, he's had issues with Seth as well, so you can kind of see it. There's backstories there. I mean, Seth had a lot to say about Randy during Survivor Series. Before Survivor Series and during Survivor Series, Cody said, "My guy's going to be here. He's going to be here," and Seth's like, "Randy's not going to be here. He's not going to show up. You can't trust him," and stuff like that. So. There's been stuff in the recent past between Randy and Seth, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a terrific match. It is Logan. Logan Paul's going to do something absolutely insane.
He's going to be the guy that jumps off one of the pods during
the
chamber.
Absolutely. Or you could see him. I think Rey Mysterio has done this before. Kind of start climbing the roof of the cage a little bit and doing something crazy from there. He's going to do something insane. The only downer is I can't see anybody else in that match that can do something insane with him. Sometimes he needs that partner like a Ricochet to really add to it. I don't see Bobby Lashley doing anything crazy, or you know what I mean, or a KO. I can see KO a little bit. He does some decent stuff. But
It's not. We're not going to see what what Brock Lesnar did to Austin Theory off the drew him off the pod like he was nothing, and Austin Theory landed on the middle part of the cage instead
yeah,
of the.
I don't maybe Bobby Lashley because he's a big he's your Brock Lesnar type guy, big strong dude. So maybe Lashley, but I was really surprised he's in this match. To be 100% honest with you, I would have thought they would have had Bronson Reed win that match, but
That's what I was about to bring up. Is that was probably the most shocking part of the chamber qualifier match is that Bronson Reed is not part of the cage. I could have seen Bronson Reed doing something crazy off the pod.
and that's what I was thinking as well. But them getting Lashley over Bronson Reed, for some reason they've been cooling off on Bronson Reed, and with it being in Australia, close to his home country, because I believe he's from New Zealand. I was kind of surprised they didn't have him in the match, but they felt like they didn't need him and they didn't want him in there, so they gave it to Lashley. All right, so real quick, so that's all the chamber matches. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the IC title Monday night. Gunther doesn't lose that, does he?
I'm not sure. That's a kind of I could see them putting Jay over in that match just because you see how over Jay is with the crowd. I thought they were going to save that match for WrestleMania.
Or even at the Elimination Chamber match. Why not have it there also? Neither of those guys are in the match, which is kind of surprising you don't have a Jey Uso in the Elimination Chamber. But I don't think so either. But it's hard for me. There's like a part of me that's thinking like could they do that? Could they have Gunther lose to Jey Uso on a Monday Night Raw? Rich says no. I say no as well, but very hesitant, very like no.
Yeah, I would not put money on Gunther retaining, and because there's that question mark there.
Yeah, this is probably the first match where I feel like there's a chance Gunther could lose, and it has me a little bit nervous. I want Gunther to continue, and if Gunther's going to lose, I want him to lose at like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, something big. TH, what's up, TH? Thanks for checking the show out. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. Adam Glenn says yeet, and I hate the yeets. So
since they're having the Jay against Gunther on a Raw instead of a pay-per-view, if Gunther does retain, who do you see Gunther's opponent going to be at Mania?
I was thinking LA Knight. If LA Knight doesn't win the chamber, you have LA Knight going for the US title. I was thinking more IC title. But
I think Logan Paul would be a better matchup with LA Knight. Just think about the promos those two guys could have between now and Mania.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think either one would be good for LA Knight. I think either one would be a good match and a good win because I could see LA Knight going out. Either one of those guys facing either one of those guys at Mania, I could see LA Knight coming out with the win and with the title. I don't know who else. Who are you thinking against Gunther? Could be Gunther.
I was thinking maybe Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn or what the hell? I can't think of it. I just had his name there. I can't think of oh crap. I can't think of it now.
How about maybe or even a returning Sheamus?
Oh man, that'd be awesome. When the hell does Sheamus come back? Like, what's the issue with Sheamus? Like, I thought he was supposed to be back during the Rumble, and then it was before the Rumble. I thought, and he should be back soon, unless there's some other issue going on. I don't know what it could be, but
a one-on-one match with Sheamus and Gunther would be epic.
Yeah, it really would be. Rich says no yeet. It also says Owens and Paul at Mania. I don't know. We've seen that so many different times now. I don't know if I'm really into seeing it again. One scenario, which wouldn't be too bad, I wouldn't mind seeing a champion versus champion match. He says he's going to come out of Mania as a double champion, Logan Paul. I would be all right if I seen a Gunther versus Logan Paul, title for title, and having Gunther defeat Paul. I don't want Gunther to lose that match. But I think that would be interesting. I think that'd be a decent match. I just don't know who else for Gunther. I don't think Randy. Not Drew. Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody newer like Braun Breaker.
Ooh.
I don't know. Like right now, anyway, I don't think so. But if Gunther was continuing to hold it, maybe somewhere in the near future,
like a SummerSlam.
Yeah. Or maybe Jimmy gets a rematch and gets Jimmy loses Monday night, gets a rematch at Mania. You never know. Or Jay, not Jimmy, Jay Uso.
Yeah. Get this. I think this is their first matchup against each other in a singles match, so it's not like they have it. People can't say they overkilled if they have a rematch.
Yeah. Rich says Knight and Gunther, LA Knight and Gunther. All right, so moving on to our final topic here of the night. We had the big promo from SmackDown, the Bloodline's response to Cody, and we had Bloodline and plus The Rock. And so it was great seeing The Rock come out. It was kind of weird seeing Roman Reigns hug Jimmy Uso. Jimmy was kind of taken back by what the hell, what's this? So I don't know if that was Roman Reigns, playing family because The Rock was there also, or what it was. But when The Rock came out, seeing him wear that vest immediately took you back to 90s Rock, the early 2000s Rock, Hollywood Rock. It was awesome. Yeah, I seen that. I love the heel Rock. I feel he's so much better in that role. He's funny as a face, but he's more ruthless and funnier as a heel. So I'm digging it. What do you think?
I have a feeling it's just a setup because during that promo, he was like promised that Cody that he didn't say Cody's name about losing, but if you look back, he was pointing when Roman wasn't looking. He was pointing toward Roman. That he was giving Roman. I think it's a setup on Roman. I think.
I can kind of agree there. I feel like I still feel like it's my main scenario. I did a whole video and had it on the TikTok and everything like that, and then put it on the X, the formerly known as Twitter. I still think that Rock somehow still helps Cody win. Not helps Cody where he attacks Roman, but helps Cody in the way of keeping the Bloodline out of the match. That's Solo and Jimmy. Keep them out of the match and help that way. Almost like you said last week, almost like the Mike Tyson when he helped Stone Cold when everybody thought he was there to help DX, as a special guest referee. Something similar like that. So when I was watching that promo, I felt like he didn't point at Roman. I felt like just because of the camera angle, the way it was, he pointed. It looked like he pointed at Roman because then it panned back to the hot camera where you're looking straight at him and his hand was straight out. But that being said, it's hard to tell because that one angle, it looks like he points right at Roman and said, "You're going to lose," and but then it pans back and he's pointing straight ahead. So I'm like, did he move his arm? I don't know. So I can see both ways with that. I'm with you, Eddie. I still feel like he's going to help Cody win. I feel like there's going to be a curveball. I do feel like at SummerSlam you will have the Bloodline match. You'll have The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the Bloodline for the head of the table. So
Yeah, and Roman, if when Solo and Jimmy start coming down, all he has to do is raise the eyebrow, and that would that's the sign that says, uh, no, no, no.
Yeah, and that's why the old finger wag. Rich says, "Did you see at the end when The Rock raised his thumb and finger, not just the finger like the Bloodline? So the Bloodline they'll raise the we are one hand, and The Rock went like this. So now for me when I seen that my thought is he's telling Cody you're going to lose. That's what I think that is. But it again, there's so many different. It's open up to interpretation. What do you think it is? Type of thing. Eddie, what did you think of that part? Did you catch that or not?
I missed that part.
Yeah, at the very end, they all raise their fingers, raising the one, and The Rock when he did it, he had the L. So the finger and the thumb, was that for Cody? Was that foreshadowing for Roman? I don't know. Uh, this was a bad promo. 2026, not 1996. I think that's what that says. Adam, spell check. What are you trying to tell us, buddy? I thought it was a terrific promo. I really did. I thought it was great. I love the way that Rock just trashed the crowd in Salt Lake City. It felt nostalgic. It really did, and I'm fine with the nostalgia part of it. I think it's great to call back to the old Rock. Every time he comes back, he's always the good guy, the lovable Rock. Whether it's making fun of John Cena or whatever the reason is, or to sing a song about Vicky Guerrero. Now he comes back and he's that other variation of the Rock where he's going to rip their asses and make fun of them. So Eileen says Endgame has to be Rock, turns on Bloodline, helps Cody win, and sets up something for SummerSlam. And then that's still the route that I'm going. They're just taking they took a detour from the way I had it panned out, pretty much. So
I think they had to pivot. Rock is a smart man. He realized how many people were turning on him there.
yeah.
Like,
When you listen to professional wrestlers talk about how they perform in the ring and how sometimes they got to switch it up a little bit, they play off of the crowd. So he knows Rock knows what he's doing. He's out there, whether it's in the ring, hearing the crowd turn on him, or social media nowadays. Back when he was, running high on his horse back in the day, 1996, like Adam's saying, when The Rock was riding high on his horse, there wasn't social media. If there was, it was very limited back then, to MySpace or something. And listening to the crowd is what they do. So he sees this, he hears this, like, all right, let's take this in a different direction. Keep it hot, keep it fresh, and go from there. So I think Adam's not a fan of The Rock being back right now. That's what I remember him saying that last week. He hates The Rock. Rocky sucks, and he's saying it's 2024, not 1996. So he's not a fan of The Rock being back.
it's still better than having Nia Jax back.
I agree. I'd take The Rock any day over Nia Jax. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Eddie, before we read sponsors and get the hell out of here?
I think it's going to be a pretty interesting elimination chamber. I think, especially the men's chamber match.
I agree 100%. It should be a lot of fun. The only one that doesn't look like a lot of fun is the Rhea and Nia Jax match, but we have to get it out of the way. They've been pushing towards it. We have to do it. Let's get past it with Rhea as a champion, and we'll be good.
They need to make that the second to last match, the bathroom match, the bathroom break match.
Yeah, pretty much. The let's go make a sandwich match, which is unfortunate too, because I love watching Rhea wrestle. So
yeah, but look who her opponent is.
Rich says, from what I read, Bo Dallas will be back as Uncle Howdy, and Alexa Bliss will join him. I've been hearing stuff like that too, but I haven't seen anything solid yet. So we'll see. Did you hear anything like that, Eddie, or what do you? What are the tea leaves telling you?
I haven't seen that breaking. I haven't seen that news yet. I know Bliss is probably going to be back sometime after Mania. At least I just hope they don't have her doing that black magic stuff like they let her just be Alexis Bliss.
I'm happy with any kind of variation of Alexa Bliss. I dug the black magic Alexa Bliss. I like the darker side of the ladies. If you catch my drift,
I just
go ahead.
I liked the underdog Alexis Bliss.
And then she would be that. The landscape has definitely changed from when she was a regular combatant in the women's division. Adam says he likes The Rock, but not at Mania. I get it. I do. I get it. I understand it, but The Rock puts asses in seats.
Yeah.
Eileen says, I don't know if I will watch the Chamber replay. I'll probably just highlights on Twitter by the time I see it. I'll probably watch it. I don't know when I'll watch it. It's going to be sometime Saturday because I'd like to do a Elimination Chamber post show, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear. I'm not sure what I got going on next Saturday, but that's the plan as it is right now. Adam Glenn said, will you go live after the Chamber? So the Chamber's on at 5 a.m., Adam. I am not going live after the Chamber at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. But like I just said, the plan is to go on live probably our regular time, 10 p.m. Saturday night to cover the Elimination Chamber and all the stuff. And then we are just a couple weeks away, short weeks away from WrestleMania then. So lots of talk there. Wake my ass up at 5 a.m. To be honest with you, Rich, I'll probably be working. I plan on signing up for overtime Friday night, and if I get it, I'll still be at work. So, by the time I get home and get my ass settled, they'll be halfway through the pay-per-view. So maybe I will finish watching it then, but I'll have to go back and watch the first half. And I went to that's why you don't get paid. Yes, Adam. That's why I don't get paid by Out of the Box Sports. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read our sponsors here, Eddie, real quick. Where are we at here? Let me find them. There they are. Jason Fine, J Fine Law, Attorney Big Al. You can reach Attorney Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. In Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the office is located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. Jason Fine. And remember, you can reach him at any time at 1-800-HURT-123. Head on over to monkeycoltcoffee.com. Get all your gourmet coffee needs right there. You got bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, toasted coconut rum, which is awesome. The Sumatra blend medium roast coffee is fantastic. They got one of their newer blends. They Perulo, Florida, organic blend. Also, the newest blend, Golden Honey Agave, is awesome. That's really good. They're also selling barrel-aged honey at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Head on over to the swag shop. Get yourself a t-shirt, coffee mug, tumbler, cold brew pitcher set, which is awesome, easy to use, K-cup adapter, and don't forget your Paradise Rum Cake at monkeycoltcoffee.com. And at checkout, use that promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off your order. Once again, it's OOTB Sports for 10% off your order at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Also, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. You can reach us Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram. Like, follow, subscribe to all social media platforms. Greatly appreciated. 7 days a week. We got something going on every day. This, that, the other. So, any final thoughts here, Eddie?
Rock being the it's nice to see Hollywood Rock back.
It makes it a lot of fun. It makes you feel young again, right, Eddie?
Yeah,
Us couple old dogs here running around the yard. It makes us feel young again, like teenagers or early 20s kids.
but not too young because Hollywood Rock was more like early. Well, let's see, around early 2000s with.
Early 2000s, yeah. Life was still a lot simpler back then, Eddie.
Yeah, I still remember him had that. I still remember when Stone Cold cost Hollywood Rock a match against the Hurricane.
There's somebody that should come back to Hurricane Shane Helms. We need him back. Stand
What's up
back
with
to
that?
Hurricane. Yeah.
What's up with that?
Oh, what a character. Yeah, so I have nothing to add to that. I'm excited for Chamber. I love the Chamber match. I think it's a neat structure. It's really cool looking. I'm not excited about it being on at 5 a.m., but it is what it is. You got to expand the brand and get it overseas as well. So, huge wrestling fans overseas. All right. So that's all I have. That's all Eddie has for tonight. Eddie, I want to thank you again for filling in for Cowboy Dave. You did a hell of a job.
Thanks for letting me be on with you.
Yep, my pleasure. Everybody, thank you for commenting, checking the show out. We both appreciate it very much. It keeps things rolling, makes things a lot easier on us when there's lots of comments and questions. So thank you. So that's all we have. Tune in next Saturday, 10 p.m. We'll be talking Elimination Chamber and the road to WrestleMania on the final stretch then. We'll see everybody next week. See ya.